In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth for his own enjoyment. He separated the skies and the waters, and he made the animals of the earth and of the trees. He made the birds of the air and the fish of the sea. He even made reptiles. And God made man for his own glory. God looked on all that he had made, and it was very good.
But men, professing to be wise, became fools. They changed the glory of the incorruptible God into an image made like to corruptible man, and to birds, and four-footed beasts, and creeping things. Men invented temples made of wood and stone, for the glory of man rather than the glory of God. Man learned to make alcohol and drugs, but these things could not satisfy. Man led his children in his own path rather than the path of God, because he forgot God's design for true joy.
Many men seek fulfillment in work or in friends, but man left to himself is without hope. Peru certainly fits this picture, although the description of man's rebellion is not limited to Peru. Peru is home to about 28 million people. Nearly 90% of all Peruvians are steeped in Catholicism and animism. Many people live in small rural villages where there has never been a gospel witness. God's plan is for believers to take the good news to such places. We too were once alienated from God, but our Father in his mercy saved us and called us to go tell others that they might be saved as well. Loren grew up in Long Island, New York, with parents who were nominally Christian. They divorced while she was still young and subsequently stopped attending church. The Lord graciously brought the family back to a church and to himself. Loren was saved at the age of 14 at a Christian camp.
But he grew up in the very different setting of Greenville, South Carolina, in a good Christian home. Having attended Faith Baptist Church since he was born, he made a profession of faith at a young age, but was not actually saved until God got a hold of his heart at the age of 18.
He has already given us the privilege of serving him in a bus ministry through our local church, Faith Baptist, in Greenville, South Carolina, and we have gained experience in preaching and teaching. Loren and I were both called to missions during our teen years while on short-term mission trips. She was in Mexico, and I was in Puerto Rico.
We both met people who had never before had the opportunity to hear the gospel, and it was through this that the Lord burdened our hearts in a way that would not be realized until years later.
We have responded to the Lord's call to go and tell the lost in Peru. His plan is that we preach the cross of Christ while finding and training leaders to do the same. By His grace, we will plant churches in the jungle among unreached tribes. At times it is necessary to travel by river in order to reach the unreached.
God leads across bridges and through floods. There will be treacherous roads, deep streams, and difficult living conditions. But God's glory is at stake. We will seek to make Him known by living with the people, teaching about Him in schools, having children's clubs, Bible studies, hospital visits, ladies' retreats, and even radio ministry.
We can use tools in order to reach hardened men for Christ and help them build physically and spiritually. But we will need co-laborers in this work. There is a wonderful promise found in Revelation 7, 9 through 10, which says,
After this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude, which no man could number, of all nations and kindreds and people and tongues, stood before the throne. and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes and palms in their hands, and cried with a loud voice, saying, Salvation to our God, which sitteth upon the throne, and unto the Lamb.
Yea, so have I strived to preach the gospel, not where Christ was named, lest I should build upon another man's foundation. Romans 15:20. Please pray for us as we go to Peru.